Microsoft really seeing these phones as an intersection for all the services that it provides, both from the Xbox side to the Office side. To talk more about it, I want to bring in Ross Rubin because he is an executive director at NPD Group, and you were inside there tweeting away about what was going on. So I guess the first thing I have to ask you is this enough to gain back market share?
Well, clearly Microsoft share has been eroded so strongly over the past year as the growth of Android has really taken hold. It really can't help but go up, at least in the U.S. at this point. And there is a portfolio of devices. They've got strong carrier support from AT&T, one of the two largest carriers in the U.S. So without a doubt, just from the rush of consumers curious to see what's new, share should go up somewhat.
You and I were talking about how it's really a numbers game of how many phones are out there. Second question here, really having to do more with a lot of people talking that this is a make or break for Windows, for Microsoft in the mobile space or in the mobile industry. Is that indeed the case? Because I asked Ballmer that and he kind of shrugs it off, but a lot of people saying that even perhaps his line is on the job. Is that real?
I mean, it's not necessarily make or break. I mean, Microsoft is a company with huge resources and they can fight a battle for a really long time, but clearly they've fallen pretty far behind, and this is the largest device class in the world. It has the potential to seriously erode the PC business over time as we start to see larger devices built on these operating systems, so it is critically important for Microsoft.
Hey, I'm just curious there, did you play with the phone? What did you think of it?
I got to try a number of the devices. One of the LG phones, which has a very nice keyboard, a Dell slider that also has a nice keyboard, a few offerings from HTC. So one of the things that Microsoft needed to do with Windows Phone 7 is simply support modern hardware and make a phone that looks and acts the way consumers are expecting to these days.
Ross, can I ask, how critical is it for Microsoft to expand things beyond PCs and to really nail this one this time in terms of headsets?
Well, you know, absolutely. This is really the focal point where a wide range of Microsoft products and services come together. They have momentum in some of those areas, such as with Office or with Xbox Live. In some areas, such as Zoom, they really don't have a lot of momentum. But regardless, in some ways, Apple has done them a favor by saying it's okay to shut out some of the world and really focus the device on the properties you want to emphasize in the name of customer experience.
Ross, Microsoft teaming up with AT&T and Verizon, also T-Mobile. What happens if iPhone gets into the space, into this area with Verizon?
Well,
in January?
you know, that is really a key. Today, Microsoft launched on GSM carriers, and there are CDMA phones in the works for 2011. If the iPhone comes to Verizon in early 2011, that could really steal a lot of the thunder in terms of new phone buyers and pent-up demand.
Ross, this is really critical, isn't it? Because what we were seeing here is basically a top-to-bottom overhaul of the company's mobile phone software.
That's absolutely right, and you know, it's important to bear in mind with all the talk today about Windows Phone 7 being different. The old one was different too, but it wasn't necessarily better. So the key is not only to be different, but to be different in a meaningful way.
Out of all the kind of things that were announced today, what do you see as the one that's really going to get consumers to start buying?
Well, clearly the new user interface approach and the way things are organized sort of welcomes in the consumer. That's one point of entry. Another is the Xbox Live franchise, and clearly a lot of hardcore gamers or gamers on that platform are going to be excited about the opportunity to take their achievements and other Xbox Live properties and bring it with them on the road.
Always got to love the gamers, right? Scaling to Ross Rubin, Executive Director at NPD Group. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.